practice a skill, you can spend your days learning that skill, and so forth. So.
Okay. So, you know what? I'm gonna take up that fisherman on his offer.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna do. But another thing I did want to do was, I was going to, what's just one of the days, probably immediately after we left that thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to get Sorek to talk to Gul'dan for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to. We can skip that if you want, if nothing substantial happens. I just wanted to get him to speak on what he saw down at
Yeah. Be right back, though.
Sorry?
Be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm back.
Okay. So
you wanted to have him to speak to Gul'dan, basically.
yeah, but what he saw that the cult was doing.
Yeah.
Unless anything important happens, we can just say the results, basically.
Since he seems to be friendly, he agrees. However, he said the people was with him.
Sorry?
He seems to agree, but he sends one of the people who were with him. Like, he doesn't go himself. He just sends one of the people over there.
Okay. So Sorek sent me a few people to go talk to Gul'dan?
Yeah, well, I would imagine after this, you want to talk to Gul'dan, and yeah, he's agreeing to it, and he's saying that he's gonna send one of his men who was there. So one of his men ends up with Gul'dan, and
Okay.
tells
Okay.
what
That
they know.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, then I'm gonna spend my time learning how to fish.
Yeah. So we'll come back to that, but that's 5 checks without proficiency because you're not proficient yet.
5 what checks? Are they gonna be dexterity or? Oh, right, he's not there. So I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, it's very soon done. So I'm thinking the skill fishing. It's mostly about patience, and not too much strength, but you need some strength. And so I'm probably just gonna do it on a hardiness check, so constitution-based skill. So that would mean 5 constitution checks.
Well, Constitution isn't bad. So.
And once you learn the skill, it will instead be constitution. It will be fishing, which is based on constitution.
Okay.
I feel like that makes sense, so that's what it's gonna be.
1, 2.
But first, before you roll the others, we will use those rolls anyway. And let me get my hot dogs first.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Hello.
I'm learning how to fish.
Hell yeah.
I'm a Murloc who doesn't know how to fish, so I thought I'd fix that.
I made burgers. I actually made burgers.
They actually look like professionally done. So, good job.
Yeah, I'm a hobby chef, so I enjoy making food at home.
Yeah, it looks like something that you would find on the cover of a magazine, so good job.
Thank you. Let's see if they taste as good.
So yeah, what was first of all, you need a fishing rod, which you can. There's three options for you. There is the basic one, which will cost you 5 copper pieces, but it might break easily.
Okay.
There is the medium one, just it's a bad word, but whatever. And that's gonna cost you 5. And then there is the superior fishing rod, which will cost you 5 gold pieces.
5 gold it is.
Okay, so you have a pretty good rod, and it's gonna take a lot to break it. So you start making your checks, and there is a fisherman who sees you practicing, who is offering his services in training you, which might help, but is charging you for it. You can do it alone, as you have done, and that would have been days of doing it alone. But there is one after, let's say, after those 2 days that sees you practicing and is asking if you're looking for techniques and such. Is willing to share.
Well, I'll ask him how much that might cost.
Yeah. So it's gonna cost you for simple fishing. It's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you a whole day would be 1 gold and half your fish. So whatever.
Oh, I don't care about the fish. I don't care about the fish at this moment. So, yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah. So for the next 3 days, that would be 3 extra gold, but it would be a lot easier. And the next 3 checks, you can roll with advantage.
Okay. Boop. Boop. Wow.
He was not a very good trainer. Okay, 21. There we go.
It seems like I got distracted because he was there that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seems like it was that first day, getting used to having someone else there helping me.
Someone else to help, yeah.
Yeah.
So on that end, you have on those 5 days, you have managed to get 7 days progress of fishing. So you keep track of that however you like, but once you reach a certain number of days, depending on what skill it is, you will become proficient. So for now, you have 7 days. So yeah, like a low roll could be a failure and you'd waste your day. A high roll give you more days and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And the DC would vary from what you're trying to learn.
So did I get any slither skin?
Yeah.
All right, I'll just need to add on what I get.
I'd say roll 3d8 and 1d6.
Okay. Slash.
However, he's taking half, so the total amount and taking half.
3d8. 15.
And a d6.
6. An additional 2, so that's a total of 17.
17. Yeah.
I'll even give him the extra one, if he wants.
Okay.
So
He doesn't say no, so.
okay, so that's 16 divided by 2. So that's 8.
Yes.
So I have a total of 20 charges of slither skin.
Yeah.
Alright. So I guess that's my time.
Yeah.
Unless if there was any little missions we could do around town. Which I guess we could do together as a group.
If that's what you wanted to do.
Would I have to take back some of that time for fishing?
Probably.
Okay. Well then,
Uh,
I'll leave it as is for now, unless if the group wanted to do something. So I'll just
Yeah.
leave it as is for now. Just so that way.
who wanna go next?
I can probably do it.
Okay. So what do you want to do on your 5 downtime days?
Is it possible to try expertising my cooking utensil skills?
Becoming
Or
an
is that
expert at a skill is ridiculously hard. But
okay?
you can try. I'm just telling you, it will be very, very hard.
So it's gonna take lots of days of practice, and probably you're gonna have to find Master Oogway.
Fuck.
Yeah, but
Okay.
isn't it?
But if that's what you want to do, you can try to do it. But yeah, it's up to you. It's a
Actually,
bit harder to become an expert than to become proficient in using something.
then let's try something that's doable. So, probably noticed I suck at history, so maybe reading some shit about this place.
Okay. So you start looking for a place to read. You first of all, you don't really have any to read. How do you want to solve that problem?
What did you say?
How do you want to go about learning about this place? Because you don't have any books on you.
Yeah, is there some reading houses?
A library?
I don't know what the libraries do.
You can look for one.
I look for one.
Okay, make an investigation check.
I don't find it.
So yeah, you spend most of the first downtown day going through the district looking, but what else do you want to do? Because to learn history, you need to learn it from something. You can't just go and super think.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Can't he just sit in a corner and unlock 100% of his brain power and just learn everything? What the fuck,
Yeah,
bro?
he's already at 100. It's not good.
Okay, dude. So, another thing I would like to do is try collecting more ways to collect more food.
How do you want to do that?
So, one way of doing was fishing, but I don't know if there was any way.
Well, that's up to you. I'm asking you. How do you want to do it?
What ways are there?
Well, what ways do you try?
Okay. How about this? Do I know if I go to a store or somewhere? Do they sell recipes for?
You can definitely look for some food recipes, yeah.
Yeah. So I will try looking for that.
You might even be able to find a historical recipe book.
I want you to first make a perception.
Better.
Yeah, so if you're walking around looking for books, you do smell food. That catches your attention. And it seems to be emanating from here. This area.
Okay. I follow the scent.
You follow the scent,
Yes.
and you end up at the food shop. And a butcher right by.
He's like in a cartoon where the scent goes up in the air, so he like flies up in the air slightly.
Ah.
200%.
What type of food is it?
There's a lot of different foods here.
I ask him if he sells food recipes, or if he's willing to teach some of them.
Oh yeah, I do have quite some recipes. Anything particular you're looking for?
Something that could help us before doing something stressful, helping us get through it, if you know what I mean.
Combat
So
recipes.
Yes.
He's gonna give you crack and cocaine
Yeah.
and some weed.
Just put it in a burger.
Crack burgers, hell yeah.
They rot your teeth, but they taste great.
Exactly.
So they say, well, stress for like
Like a long day of work, or beating a bunch of scorpions. Yeah, sure.
I do know of one that will help you fight scorpions more easily.
Doesn't have to be scorpions, just before a fight.
Well, I have a special mixture called scorpion cocktail, if that's something you're interested in.
What does it do?
It will make it easier to fight scorpions and similar creatures.
Okay.
You can make an intelligence check.
Like poison resistance or some shit. I am guessing.
If you don't want to make an intelligence, you'll have to. Yeah, you know, scorpions, they usually have poison, so maybe it has something to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Sure, why not? How much for it?
That would run you 20 gold pieces.
For a recipe? Jeez, man. Is there any way to lower the price?
Well, I suppose we can start working there. We need a new assistant. Did you see it?
And it's a food shop, right?
Yes, we make food.
You make burgers.
If you work for 20 days without pay, I'll give you the recipe.
I don't have 20 days.
All right then, keep your secrets.
But I will back. I will be back. But for now, keep your secrets. And I walk away.
Sure. Yeah, that was your first day. What do you want to do in the last 4 days?
It's not much for me to do.
Well,
To be
there's a
honest.
lot you could do. But if you don't want to do anything, then we'll pass to the next person.
Can't think of anything right now, at least.
Well, you have the chance until everyone is done. Then we move on. So, who want to go next?
I could probably go next. I would like to practice some woodworking.
Yeah.
So I perhaps could not fuck up any future clubs I might want to make.
All right. You have like a kit, or do you just have a blade?
I only have a knife, so I don't have it. I have like my leather workers tools, so they have like tanning knives and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I'll say with the weapons you have, it's fine. You can use most of the tools there for some of the job. However, how do you want to go? Do you just practice on your own, or?
I would go to that woodworking fellow and ask him if he could teach me some.
So he says, well, normally I take a gold an hour, but if you're able to help in the shop and not break any of the projects, then I'll teach you for free.
I think I can manage. I have about 5 days to kill, so I'm not. I don't think I'll learn every trick you have, but
Okay. So that means basically you have to pay for the days that you fuck up.
okay.
Because you're working with actual customers.
Yeah.
Okay, so make a carving tool check. That will be your dexterity with advantage.
With advantage. Let's see. Dexterity.
And 4 more.
4 more, okay. Hey.
Okay.
He didn't even once get 2 4s, like me.
uh, so yeah, you gain 7 days of learning. There's a few projects, especially on the 4th day, that you're pretty close to ruining a project, which meant you would have to pay for the whole day, which is a lot of hours. But you do manage to make relatively okay stuff, and on the 2nd day you make an exceptional carving for a client. So yeah, he's relatively happy with your work.
Oh, well. I just pressed something by accident.
Yeah. So you can add that you have 7 days on your car reads.
Let's see.
So yeah, what do you want to do, Archibald?
Yes, I would like to seek out someone has sort of the same fighting style as I have. Like, you
Okay.
know, dexterity fighters. Like other monks, preferably, or rogues.
You look around. I need you to make an investigation check.
Perfect.
Yes. So the champions at the gate here, they don't know. But at least they don't tell you.
Dickheads.
You spend most of the day just wandering about, looking like, and you try and tell a few, or do you know someone who fights but don't use weapons, and they laugh at you.
Or like quarterstaffs or
Yeah.
daggers and shit.
That's
I might be dumb, but I'm not stupid.
It still doesn't end very well. So on the first day, at least, took half of the first day, same as it did with Gomba. So you have another chance today to do something.
I would like to try once more.
Okay, make another investigation check.
Fuck!
Okay, didn't find it last time, so you turn around and do the experiment again.
Yeah, that rogue blood elf lady from Hearthstone isn't here, so that's why. That's why.
Okay, well, I've spent the entire fucking day searching for this shit, and I have come to the conclusion that these guys just don't exist here. Just big dummies with axes, that's all.
That is a fine conclusion to come.
So,
Well, what do you want to do on your next day?
yes, I'd like to try something else then. I'll head to the Valley of Wisdom.
Yeah.
And I'll see if I can find someone that's wise. You know, someone that's like meditating, for instance. Or like doing some, what's it called? Like some Zen shit.
Okay.
He's looking for a yogi.
I'm gonna become a yoga instructor.
Yeah,
Yoga
exactly.
instructor. Well, you can look around. It's a lot easier because you're looking at specific specific check, but I still need an investigation to find what you're looking for. 13. So yeah. Let me just find these things here. Yeah. So you walk around the Valley of Wisdom, and you do find a few people up when you get up here.
Yeah.
There appears to be Torah. There appears to be a few trolls. And there is one orc, which you notice with your 13, has a high ranking within the horde. So he's a legionnaire. And they seem to be all doing the same thing, sort of meditating, with the Torrent taking the lead.
Okay, so all busy meditating.
Yeah, and as soon as you approach, the orc kind of looks up at you. Ah, Oktarogar. What brings you to the Valley of Wisdom, friend?
Well, I was hoping to learn something from here. You're willing to share the wisdom you possess?
We are trying to explore the Torrent's wisdom. And you kind of see the Torrent also looking up at you. They have a bond with nature, unlike any of the orcs around here have. You're welcome to try if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd like to give it a shot.
Yeah. So you spend some time meditating?
Yeah, so
What can you get from that?
Religion,
well, hopefully
maybe?
I.
I don't know.
What I was hoping for is to perhaps learn something like another trick I can use my key points to do,
Yeah.
or I don't know, perhaps increase my wisdom score. I know that take a lot, but we can begin at least. But primarily, those
Okay.
two things would be.
They are starting to teach everyone here about the connection to the Earth Mother and the good things that the Earth type of similar like that. And I need you to make 4 wisdom checks.
Okay, just regular wisdom checks, no advantage since this guy's here.
Yeah, with advantage. Sure, being instructed.
Yeah, that should. Okay.
Okay. So for your character, you can write down 4 days of connecting with nature.
He's gonna
I'll
become a
take it.
druid.
Hell yeah, brother.
4 days of connecting with nature.
Yep.
Yeah, I can dig it. Okay.
You did it.
I did it now.
Yeah. And the
Basically,
Thorin
the
keeps
animal come from the earth, and from the earth come grass, and the grass, and then we get burger. Big wisdom.
It takes you a while, and the Thorin says that it's not something you should expect immediately payment from, but you will learn over time to communicate with nature, as it's everywhere, and things like that.
I am
that's
excited to learn.
That's your 4 downtime days.
Yep.
So yeah, was there anything else again?
I don't know. Just forget it.
Very well, so you drew 4 days straight.
Damn right.
Now he's playing fetch with Ruger.
Actually, not Ruger is spending the time training.
Training fetch?
Not fetch.
Okay.
He's getting drunk.
Sure.
Alright, so things.
Yeah. So the next day comes, and the Zeppelin should be here today.
Do we
Or
know
that's
where the Zeppelin
further on.
is?
That's a good question.
No.
Where we go?
You guys don't. I think I might. But
You probably do, yeah.
I would like to at least meet up with the rest of the group, I suppose.
Yeah. You all have the same sleeping quarters.
yeah,
Pretty
I'm
much.
in like a wash bin next to one of your beds.
Uh,
Okay, since no one else says anything, so today the Zeppelin is here, right? If I counted correctly, and I'll start counting on my fingers.
I come out of the water next to your bed. Oh, yes.
What is this Zeppelin thing we're gonna take?
It is an air vehicle. Imagine a cart that can fly.
Yeah.
I've probably seen one before if they go to Thunder Bluff.
yeah, you probably have seen one before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Pandarians probably haven't.
That's a fair point.
No, probably not.
Nope.
It has places where you can sit inside, and it flies away. And then you sit there until it arrives where you want to go.
That sounds practical.
He nods. This is why we waited for it, rather than just walking.
Yeah, I assumed it was a reason for it.
Alright, so what are we doing?
So, shall we go to this airship?
Where's
When
the...
is it supposed to arrive?
stop.
Is it supposed to arrive in like the early morning, afternoon?
Should arrive at some point today, and it should leave later today.
Ah, yes.
Very specific. Okay,
So
cool.
it's not an exact time. It's not like it's here in OO. It's gonna be here when it gets there, depending on your journey event and everything. And it's going to leave today after, of course, it's been shouting out that it's departing, and people rush to get to it.
I wonder if it's being driven by a goblin.
I want to find out. Blow it up.
Do we know where it's supposed to meet up? Or
Where you're meeting up?
Yeah.
You've been sleeping at the barracks you've been assigned.
yeah, but the airship. Do we know where it lands?
You don't, but you have a fish who does.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's here.
Yeah. It's this
The
tower there.
boot.
Because I figured that that's what the boot symbol was. But
The boot symbol is the flying. The virus from was also up there, but it's this tower here,
Okay.
like platform on the top.
So we're gonna go up there and see them wyverns.
Yeah.
So I start leading the way. And everyone notices that I now have a fishing rod. That's sort of just sticking out of my backpack.
Okay, so before we're leaving, I'd like to pick up some wood from the wood cover to practice on the go. Just some blocks of wood. And
buy some blocks of wood.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
So how much do I?
It doesn't. It depends how many days of do you want.
I mean, yeah, a few days. Just how long do you think the zeppelin will take?
If you ask him, he is going to say about a week or so.
Okay, so I'll buy a week or so worth of supplies to practice.
And since you worked there and you did reasonably well, he's not gonna take a lot, but he is going to take a silver for each day.
Yeah, okay, so like 7 silver.
Yeah.
So if this airship isn't coming in immediately, I'd like to make a quick trip back to the tour in the Valley of Wisdom before we leave. That's possible.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So basically, I'd just like to find this guy.
Yeah.
Does he look busy in the middle of a ritual or in the middle of meditating? Like a room?
It looks like they're meditating. Yeah.
Then I wouldn't want to disturb him, actually.
Okay.
Let him be sleep. Are there anyone that sort of hangs around in this area that doesn't look preoccupied?
Yeah, there is definitely. There's a bunch of people wandering around, passing by, and they're all going somewhere or doing something. So there's nobody just standing there waiting for you, but there's plenty of people.
You know what? Never mind. I'll leave. I don't want to disturb them.
Okay.
It's not important.
So I lead everyone to the thing?
Sure.
The airship place?
Yeah. So you guys lead up, take the elevator up here, take some time, you step out. And it's quite high up here compared to down there. Like you figured if you were to fall off the edge, you'd probably die.
Yeah.
Unless you landed on a roof and then waited for yourself to heal and then you jumped over it.
It's pretty tall down, especially down here. But up here you do see pen. You see a bunch of Byron and a person who seems to be in charge of the Byrons, kind of standing with a few of them on his leashes. You see a crowd of people that seems to be entering this tower over here, the entranceway.
Mhm.
And at the top of this spire, there is a zeppelin on one of the sides.
Oh, so it's already here.
Yeah.
Your dropship has arrived.
Do we see any of our other companions?
You can make a perception check. Nine?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see any of them currently.
Oh,
But
so
you're
we should like skip parts of the line. Like we
you're
can't.
somewhat far away still, though. Like you just got off.
Yeah, okay.
Over there.
Yeah, well, I will continue.
Yeah. So you continue, and as you get closer, the line is smaller. However, there's a bunch of stairs inside that goes up, and seems like there's a line. How will you do this? Are you going to attack them? You know.
Well, now that we've come closer, do we see our companions, like Sorek and those guys?
Not currently, but you're kind of at the bottom of the tower, and pretty filled up in there. But you do see, like, there are definitely some more other grunts and such.
Are they just waiting in the line?
Yeah, they seem to be wanting to go up.
Okay, so it
We'll
seems like
just,
They do at a slow pace.
it just seems like we have to wait.
just gonna have to wait. We don't have like Disneyland fast pass. So
No, Sergeant is not the ultimate fast pass.
I didn't take spider climb either, so we can't just walk up the tower on the outside.
Yeah.
How big is this zeppelin?
The zeppelin is quite large. It's you can make a. You're kind of looking at it from the bottom, so you can make an investigation check.
Amazing.
It's pretty large. Not as large as your turtle, but still pretty big. It's about the size of a seafaring vessel.
Okay. And do I think it will fit all these people?
Hard to tell. There might be some places on, like, if everyone was on top of the deck, maybe not. But who knows?
Okay.
Alright.
take our chances.
Does it at least look big enough to like hold like a siege weapon?
Yeah. It's like a seafaring vessel.
Okay. So it's not like a little tiny thing like modern day zeppelins on the bottom. It's got like a big
No.
thing.
It's like a ship with a huge balloon on top.
Okay. So I point up and I say, well, this one looks more like a ship. Some of them look more like carts with smaller bottoms.
Mm.
So, yeah, that happens. So we wait in the Disneyland line. How long does it take?
It takes you about 15 minutes or so.
Oh, that's not
But
bad.
eventually you do reach the top. And you see a crowded ship. There is a few guns on it, but not very many.
Like
It's not
cannons
like
or more like
more like cannons.
okay.
but there's not very many. A normal ship of this size would probably have more.
So it's a transporting vehicle, mainly.
Maybe. Well, it's transporting all of you, so it's a fine assumption to make.
That's so.
Seems like this one's more like a luxury cruiser than a warfare vessel.
Yeah. And it's pretty crowded, although some of the crowd is going below deck. There seems to be a below ship.
So I guess the centaurs don't have the technology to build things like catapults or things that could knock us out of the sky.
You don't know.
I don't know.
However, on the deck, you do see what's that message? Okay. But you do see familiar-looking faces. Both your senior sergeant and the other sergeant, as well as, of course, Rigshin as a sergeant. So there is several familiar faces on this deck. So
and sergeants, they're all sergeants, all of them.
Yeah. They're just Rigshin is a sergeant. Granosh is a sergeant. And the random orc you met is senior sergeant.
Okay, I'm gonna go on the ship. I don't care where, as long as I get on there before it departs. That's the important part.
You guys get on. I mean, there's space for you, and eventually, there's a few people who leave from the area as well. Maybe they came to say goodbye or whatever. But there's okay space. It's still a bit crowded, but you manage. And it appears to be ran by two goblins, a male and a female one. And one of them is wearing a pirate hat and an eye patch.
Of course. So, being interested, I'll walk over to one of the goblins before we depart to see if I can.
So there's one who's kind of steering wheel, while the other one is tinkering around with the heater or the box that's blowing up all the
steam.
You've probably seen that. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I'll go over to the one working with steam.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll say, I see that you're slightly low on weaponry, so we're not expecting any trouble.
There shouldn't be any trouble. Most things can't keep up with us.
So the centaurs, they're not gonna knock us out of the sky.
I will fly right by.
Alright.
Outrun their bullets.
They probably have spears. To be fair.
And you can trust us. We've never crashed it.
How many times have you flown?
A lot.
Okay. I'm satisfied then. I'll walk away.
They have definitely crashed this thing.
Yeah, we're fine. Don't worry about it. We're going down. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out my fishing rod and just put it over the side. as if we were on a seafaring ship. I'm gonna see if I can catch anything.
See if you can catch one of the wyverns.
Are you doing it now? With your dog?
Oh, not at dock. When we start taking, because I don't want it to get stuck on the dock and then lose my fishing rod.
I imagine people just crashing into it as they left the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm waiting for departure.
Yep. And it's a little while. If there's anything you want to do there, like speak with the people that's there or something, you can. Otherwise, we'll continue.
I'd like to speak with Herog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Herog, the last 4 days I've spent in the Valley of Wisdom trying to become smarter.
You learn anything yet?
Yes.
Oh.
They've taught me a bit about connecting with nature, and I thought that you're a nature man,
I indeed am.
a forest boy. Yeah. So I was hoping maybe you had a thing or two you could teach me.
I mean, probably what you already know.
I tell him what I already know.
It's meditate.
Yes.
One thing that you never liked.
Yeah, the one thing I never liked.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
involve
okay, but,
smacking things.
But perhaps you have something else to offer. I'm sure you have, actually. You're a smart guy.
Can you cast spells yet?
I can with my staff.
But what about your hands? Is it I'll touch your shoulder and I'll heal you. Discuss cure wounds.
I'm at full health.
I know,
probably
I know.
feel it anyway. I'd guess something from the magic.
Yeah, he's going to waste a spell on the day that Deathwing approaches.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Don't worry, you're gonna get level 4. So,
Oh, we're gonna
Yeah,
get
we're gonna
level
get level-
4 before Deathwing shows up. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
That's reassuring. I'm gonna try to cast something. Just whatever.
okay. Are you staff equipped?
No, with my hands I'm putting away the stuff.
Okay. You try and cast something.
Yeah. Does it work?
What do you want to do?
It doesn't work. After I've tried a couple of times and nothing seems to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can help you that much. I mean, I've trained my whole life, and things pretty much just came to me, so not really sure how to help you. But in Thunderbluff there are many druid masters. Perhaps they can teach you.
Yeah, perhaps they can. If we find the time, I'll probably seek out one of them. Yeah, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. I'll sit down and start doing some wood carving.
Yeah. Fine. So it goes about an hour and a half.
Okay.
And then the goblin at the wheel yells out, "Last chance! Get on now! We're heading to Thunderbluff!" About 5 minutes later, he yells the same thing again. And then he starts yelling about a minute before departure that they're taking off, release basically the connections to the dock, which they do, and they set sail.
As soon as they
So-
start leaving into the air, I put my fishing rod over the.
You are still over the the people down here, so you're aware.
That's okay. I'm not gonna put it down that far.
Okay.
See if you can catch someone's hat.
I just waited for him to say East signal.
I just pick up a gnome, reel him in.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys are traveling. You're headed towards Thunderbluff. So it will be a few days before you get there. Is there anything you want to do on those few days?
I'm gonna try to fish for a bird or something.
Yeah. So since what was it, 7 days they said, no 6 I believe.
Is it about a week?
Yeah, about a week. So let's say you can make 6 fishing checks. So con with disadvantage.
Okay. That makes sense. If I actually get some training on this and catch something, I'm gonna be happy. Okay.
Well, it's gonna be pretty hard.
Nope.
No?
Maybe.
It's a bit harder to catch birds than fish, so unfortunately, no.
Give me one. Just one.
You can't just wait until we're over a lake or something, right?
How
I mean,
many? How many?
the-
6?
The ship is not. 6 of them, so 2
Okay.
more. And the ship is not gonna stop over a lake.
No, I know, but like a huge lake or something. You could drop it in at the start and just drag it all across and take it up by
How
the
much
end.
line do you think he has?
Probably a lot.
I've got some really high numbers there. They're just next to low ones.
Yeah,
That's the thing
so,
with disadvantage.
Fortunately, you haven't gotten the technique to fish birds. You need further training for this.
It's a shame. It's a shame, really.
And then it's the other 3 if they want to do something.
Yeah, when I was doing the meditation, is anyone who was sort of part of a meditating group on this airship?
Not of those, no.
Okay. Then I'll just spend the time alone. I'm trying to, well, become better at what this Thorin taught me.
Okay. So yeah, you can roll checks. However, the third check is a disadvantage because the engine slightly explodes next to you. It's not a problem enough to break it, but
It distracts me a fucking lot, I
distracts you
suspect.
more than enough.
Yeah,
Just
okay,
hear
okay.
someone yelling, "We're going down!" No, we're not.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, the next one with disadvantage.
Yep.
Because it's day 3. And then 3
Stupid.
more.
Hey!
Okay. So it's kind of hard to concentrate on this large ship. There's a bunch of people and the noises the Zeppelin itself makes and stuff. So it takes you until the 4th day before you find and you manage to get 3 days progress.
So 7 days, so. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, and then it's the last two if they want to do anything.
I'm doing the wood carving stuff.
Yeah, sure, you can make checks for that, 6 of them. Not with advantage, so normal. Except, well, you're carving on a ship, so I'd say disadvantage on day 3. But it doesn't matter, because you got a 3 anyway. So, yeah, just roll 3 more. Okay, so yeah, you pretty much ruin these. However, one of them is pretty good, and the last one is exceptionally good. So you gain another 3 days of wood carving.
If I would have caught a bird, I would have got like 10 days.
Yeah, you could have, but you weren't lucky enough.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, Joachim, do you want to do something, or do you stays?
Well, practicing on a cooking utensil is better than drooling, I suppose. So, even though I will never reach expert, I will still do it.
Okay. You can definitely try. And who are you cooking for? Party?
Sure.
If it's for the whole party, that would be you 4. So it's 6 charges per day. So times that with 6 is 36 rations used.
Oof.
Really getting those 100 rations used.
Yeah. And you can make 6 cooking utensils checks.
Can I use guidance?
Yeah, sure.
Just gotta spam it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, you gain. Yes. You gain 2 days of practice towards expertising your cooking utensils.
Okay. It's like a DC 20 or something.
It's a lot higher learning to cook
Okay.
than learning to cook, is what I said. But yeah.
Running low on rations again.
Yeah.
28 left.
You could have just eaten what was there, but you know, at least it's good. Except for that one day, which was the 3rd day, that as the engine kind of slowly blew up, it burned some of your food in the process.
Yeah,
You're using it to cook.
that makes sense. Grease is very burnable.
Yeah. So that's what happened on day 3. But otherwise, at least you had good food. So yeah. Then eventually, you will hear the goblins again. Approaching Thunderbluff! Should be there in about an hour!
I'm gonna try to one last chance to catch a bird.
You have spent your whole day trying, so that was kind of the result.
I'm just trying extra hard the last hour.
Sure, you try extra hard. Unfortunately, It's
You
not
forgot.
expertise.
You forgot to put bait on.
Yeah.
I just swing the hook at a passing bird, but I miss.
Yeah. Something like that.
For some reason, birds aren't as stupid as fish. I don't know why.
Yeah. Strange. But anyways, it goes about an hour, unless you want to do something real quick. Then you will arrive at Thunder Bluff.
You said an hour?
Yeah.
Uh,
Or he said an hour if it's an actual.
apparently I was just reading that I can turn my packed blade into a weapon that I have if I just focus on it for an hour.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna turn Gul'dan's spare dagger into my packed weapon for now.
Sure.
What is directly below us at this moment?
Make a perception check. Let me see if I can find the thingy.
So what is she?
Yeah, I'll come back to it. I'm just trying to actually find a map. Because I didn't map out all the areas that you guys could have traveled to.
No, you should have had all the maps ready to go for all 50 areas that we could have went.
Of course. So you're drawing up a super detailed battle map right now, right?
Very. It takes a lot of skill and practice to do it so quickly.
Somehow the tree got on our airship.
Yeah, yes, we do. So yeah, let me close those sheets there. Like, what the heck?
I'm surprised nothing tried to kill us as we were traveling.
No, 99% I'm absolutely safe. No crashes ever happens on Goblet Transport. Don't worry about it.
When an engine exploded. That was pretty close.
No, that didn't happen. You might know.
Okay.
It just went.
To ruin my food.
No, you're cooking did it.
You just spilled
Nonsense.
too much grease on the engine that you were using to cook with.
Okay, this picture looks absolutely terrible, so I'm gonna delete it and find another.
I thought you were gonna say, but I'm gonna use it anyway, so here's an absolutely terrible map.
Oh, I could.
I did expect that too. Well, I'm gonna make this a bit easier. The reason why I asked is if I can see any people down there, specifically, like centaurs or perhaps night elves. Because all I want to do is take a piss out the window and see if I can hit them.
If there were a centaur in Thunder Bluff, there would be something wrong, or he's a prisoner.
Yeah, but we're still a bit away. So.
Yeah, this one works. Sure.
At first, I thought you said, "This one's a horse." And I was thinking, okay, we can work with a horse.
It's better than a tree.
The tree is on the horse, which is how it's traveling.
That's why I want to connect with nature, because I want to find out the secrets of this tree.
We can just use. Well, the orcs like lumber. Well, there you go. Just use that tree that keeps following us.
It's now the size of half a continent. So there should be enough wood for a long time.
You know what? I will just do this, and you guys will have to zoom in. Sure.
Well, we can't see it yet.
There we go. You guys just have to zoom in. So appreciate it.
We just have to zoom in? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Do you not see the map?
What the fuck?
Just zoom in, it's fine.
It's that super tiny thing in the corner. Oh wait, there's the tree.
Oh, he's coming. Oh god, oh fuck.
Yeah.
The tree lost one of its branches.
Are you sure? Yeah, but
My toast. There's now 2.
Okay, so this is Thunder Bluff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you are arriving Thunder, which is on an elevated platform. So it's high up on some mountain tops, while the rest of the ground below is pretty. It's not mountainous really in any area. It's kind of flat, and there's green grass everywhere. But as you look through over the window of the ship, it definitely has windows. So not really custom. You make a perception, 19. So yeah, you do see in the distance some almost like mountain tops, which is Thunder Bluff. I mean, it's up on those elevated stone hills. And you do see a pack of creatures that seems to be marching around the rocks, but you don't get any clear details of here. Other than that, since you're so far up in the sky and roll decently, you do notice in the far south there appears to be a large lake and some sort of village down there, but that's about what you get currently.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just delete this whole page. You can Google Mulgore if you want to see what it's like. We'll switch over here. So yeah,
Okay.
I assume you guys don't do anything specifically and just wait until you arrive, suppose.
I'm just gonna seek out Sorik before, and I'm just gonna know where he is before we actually dock.
Yep. That's alright. So you find him. I mean, he's on top of the deck at the moment.
Okay. I just want to keep track of where he is, because technically he's the person who's telling us what to do. So.
Yeah. And then you guys get closer and closer. And since you had an eye out on creatures over there, eventually you do their horse-like features with man-like upper bodies. These are definitely centaurs.
They're
And
in
they
Thunder
seem to
Bluff?
be... Yeah. Not in Thunder Bluff. Thunder Bluff is up on a mountain.
Yeah,
Oh,
Thunder
okay.
Bluff is a
Base of
city.
Thunder Bluff.
Mulgore is the area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Misunderstood.
And it seems like they have raided a bunch of supplies, and they are leaving. And there's like an army of them. There's quite a lot. However, the elevators that you would know of, especially, there's 2 elevators that take you to the ground from Mulgar. For most people, because most people can't fly, they are stopped and they are risen up. So they're not transporting currently.
These elevators, is there like technology to them, or are they taken up and down by people having to pull them?
People having to pull them.
Somehow, probably fucking shit for them.
But in the game, they just hover.
Well, that's too bad.
Well, I mean, they are Tauren, so some of them are super strong. So, no
Yeah.
big deal.
It's manual labor that takes them up and down.
Do they look malnourished?
Hard to tell from this distance.
Yeah, you'll have to get close.
You'll have to ask them.
Are you malnourished, sir?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah, totally, bro. That's why I can lift this elevator.
Yes, I lifted because...
Yes, by the power of malnourishment, I'm stronger. That's totally how it works.
Okay, so do we get to the dock? After we see
you do
the
get-
centaurs run away?
Yeah, you do eventually get to the dock. And do arrive in pretty much the middle of it on a spire. Not exactly the same as an Ulgrim, but it works for the same purpose. It's where the Zeppelin can land at. The goblins shout out, "We're arriving at Thunder Bluff! Everyone get ready to leave!"
I'm just watching Sorek, making sure I don't lose track of him.
Yeah, fine. So you guys are docking there. Let me get that thing. So, is there anything you would like to do dock or as you dock?
As we dock, I don't.
I would like to look out on Mulgore and see if I see my village and if it's because I haven't specified where it is.
Yeah.
So
It's
Yeah,
up in the
up to you.
northern parts of
Just-
Mulgore.
Just say that his village is on fire.
No. Not currently. It's already burnt.
Okay. Well, then, if his village was on fire, then you wouldn't have to give him one. Because it'd be gone.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying it's already burnt down. That's why it's not fire.
Oh, okay. Great.
There's absolutely no
yeah.
chance of stopping it.
Hell.
Okay.
So let me find the details there. Maybe if I double it.
Maybe
So yeah, and then the only other question is, how long do you guys play today?
I'm getting pretty tired, so fucked up my sleeping rhythm.
No.
I mean,
I can
I'm
probably
good
go
for
for-
hours, so
I don't want to be later than 12. So I can go on for a little.
Yeah, we'll go on for a little bit then.
I'm probably not gonna do much, so yeah, Grumble will just if there's a fight, he won't die, so it's fine. You bribe them with burgers.
Sorry.
Famous last words.
Whatever. It's hard to find good pictures. So this is where you're at now.
It's not even moved completely. Oh, there it is.
So yeah, it's absolutely terrible. But whatever. So you guys arrive at Tunnelbolt near the middle. There is few areas in the town that you might find interesting. As you look, there is the areas around towards the east platform, which seems to be where the hut area are. There is some markets southwest, typical markets, bankers, all of that stuff. And on the south pillar, you see what appears to be hunting equipment and that sort of stuff. Like, because you have a pretty good vision to see from up here, it's rather in the middle. So the pillar at the south seems to be more of like a hunting district where they probably has different types of hunters and nature folk. There's a one to the west, which is and you would know this as well because here, which is more spiritual. This is where the wisest people go and delve in spirits and magics and such.
Can you do a ring on the map to where that place is?
Yeah, I can do that. So down here is the hunters and such. Actually, can I just show it on the Discord instead? That's probably better. No, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's real. If you try this one, then you might.
you would think a game that's like decades old would have decent pictures of its location.
Well, it does have in-game, but not
Okay,
what I
this one.
find online.
It's better.
I should just get a WoW subscription and take a screenshot out of.
Yeah, you should just fire up World of Warcraft and take pictures of everything.
But yeah, that might be a little bit better to get. So the Hunter's Rise, which is named on the map, is kind of where the hunters and such are. You have the Spirit Rise, which is where the spiritual folk and such are. The Elder Rise, which is the one at the east center, which is where like the chief and things like that probably is. And the area of in the right there appears to be a lot of warriors and such. And when warriors, there's different types, druids and everything.
So the Elders Rise is probably where we're gonna go to talk to like a chieftain or something.
Yeah, probably if you wanna. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys want to do? Where are you heading off?
First of all, when we disembark and we do go in that elevator, yeah, I just want to find out whether the guys operating the thing is people that work there or slaves.
Okay. You can try and look from where you are in the tower. Otherwise, you would have to go to the places. It's a bit to travel. You can make a perception check. Then, from this distance, you definitely see them. Doesn't look like there's anyone working hard. Thing, but I mean, the elevator stopped. That might be it. But there's no indication of if they're slaves or not from this distance at least.
Okay.
But I mean, you could approach one. It would just take you some time to walk.
Well, have we landed yet?
Yeah, you have landed, and people are starting to.
Okay, so I'm following the dude guy.
The dude guy.
Yep. Sorik.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all right. So is everyone following him, or something else happening?
What time of day?
You cut out.
What time of day would it be at this point?
At this point, it would be about midday, a bit later.
Yeah, sure. I'll just follow. In like better to do.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll follow
yeah.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get down there, he says, "I have been granted some resources, so that should cover our expenses at the inn. However, booze you get yourself," tells everyone, including you guys. So you don't have to pay for an inn while you're here, or food for that matter, unless you want hamburgers. But and then he says, "Well, should figure out what we can do to around here." Yeah, looks towards Rigshin and Dranash and glean what information you can, and we'll meet at the morning. So you guys are free to do whatever for the day.
I look before Sorik walks away. I say, do you think it would be a good idea if we went to the Elders' Rise to see if there was anything that we can help with there, or should we go somewhere else?
Well, Elders Rise, that's like their war chief. Sure, he would be the person to know if he grants you an audience.
All right. Thank you. And I'm gonna start walking there. That's what I'm doing.
I think I want to ask Harold where find druids he spoke of. Took off. Ochgrimmer.
I suppose I would know. It's at the Spirits Rise, right?
If he's looking for the wise ones, there is druids in pretty much all the districts, but if he's looking for the wise ones, that would be the place to go.
Yeah.
Because there's different types of druids. I mean, you're still a druid.
Yeah, I'm a druid, but I'm just a hit stuff druid.
Yeah. So, because there's different specializations. You have up at the left, or the spiritual one, you will find the
Balance.
wiser ones of
The balanced druids.
not necessarily balanced druids. You might find some of them, but also restoration druids. Balanced druids, you will find some areas in town, but a huge amount of them. They're not that common. Feral and druids such as yourself are a lot more common.
I'm a guardian druid, though.
Yeah, I said feral and druids such as yourself.
Ah, okay.
So.
I thought you said feral druids as yourself.
Yeah.
So I'll tell him that. Ask him like, so what kind of druid do you wish to speak to?
A nature man. True forest boy.
Pretty much all of them would be that.
Well, that fits me perfectly.
I mean, technically, you're a nature boy. I mean, you like nature, so you just don't know very much about it.
Yeah.
He's just
So
too
I'll
smart
take him
to be anything.
to my masters then, I suppose,
Okay.
or my trainers.
Yes. Did you write the name for those in your backstory, your master?
I do not think so. I can check.
Do you want to write a name for it, or should I just?
You can go with it. I don't really care.
Sure.
It should be something with Storm Song though, since that's my tribe. At least.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to the elders.
Yeah, sure. So you're finding the elders at least. Well, the other two are finding your form master, which you do manage finding. Let's see. That be here. Yeah, so you do find the Thorn. His name is Holt Storm Tongues.
Storm Song.
Storm Tongues.
Storm Song.
Well, your intelligence is low. You don't know.
Yeah, I just misspelled my name.
That's what 8 int does to a man.
What's my name?
I know it's not Storm Tongues.
I
So,
know.
anyways, you guys find the whole Storm Tongues.
Yeah. Okay.
And he seems to be teaching some younger torrents. As you approach, I assume you just approach openly.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm a direct man. I'll just walk straight up to him.
Yeah.
No, he's going
He-
to stealth in the shadows.
So he notices you, and then he sighs, and he says, "How do you manage to get thrown out of the horde already?"
No. And then I'll display my badge.
Oh. Well, congratulations then. I'm glad I was wrong.
I'm glad you were wrong as well.
So, what brings you back to Thunderbluff then? And with such strange company?
Well, the horde, I believe, are willing to help us a bit with our age-old centaur problem.
Hmm.
So they sent over a few soldiers, me and my group included.
That makes sense.
And this one here wanted to speak to a nature boy.
Okay, so first he says, makes sense. You've always been suited to be a warrior. And he looks at the panda. Alright. Now, show me your true form.
He's saying that to me.
Yes.
He thinks that you're just a bear.
Yeah, he thinks you're a bear.
druid in a bear form.
That makes sense for him to think. I'm wondering if I want to do something funny here.
The thing is, would you realize?
That's the, you know what? I'll let.
Because you've seen me turn into a bear at least.
I have, but do I think of this in this very moment? We'll see. I do. I'm gonna tell him, oh, this is my real form.
Make a persuasion roll.
Okay.
Oh, not bad.
And what kind of creature are you?
I'm a Pandarian. We come from a faraway land, so I'm not surprised that you haven't seen one of my kind before.
Can't say that I have. But then anyways, what do you guys mean? Nature, dude? Are you looking for plants, herbs?
No, I am looking for wisdom. And
Wisdom.
my friend Harold here said that you are the brightest man he's ever met.
Well, that wouldn't be true.
I didn't say that either.
Exactly my point. It's smart. But
Okay, maybe I remember this wrong, but you were his master, yes?
indeed. And you're looking to practice in the ways of a druid. It's not an easy task. Not everyone is suited for it, even with training.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. I'm kind of looking to connect more with nature.
Lord Mother is always with you wherever you go. You only need to listen.
Can you teach me how to do that? I've been doing some meditation. I know I have more to learn.
Yes, meditation is good. Take advice from your new friend, Eric.
Bad student.
I've been doing quite all right up until now. So I'll continue as I have.
Then why don't the both of you join me?
For some hardcore meditation.
Yes, boys, meditation with the Earth Mother. Let's go.
Heavy metal music starts playing.
Heavy metal starts playing.
I tug Harold's pants eagerly to get him to join.
Okay, I suppose I'll join just this once.
Yeah, so you can both make wisdom checks.
With advantage since we have a master.
Sure.
Yay.
Oh, with advantage. I'll just roll twice then. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I've written that down. So yeah, you Archibald, since you're practicing, you do manage to get another day's progress. However, Herog, for you, this is and is always have been meaningless.
Yeah.
You really don't see any point in doing it. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
it's just an excuse for sleeping, really.
Yeah,
Would that be a bad thing, though?
Not necessarily. Yeah, so midway through, you just hear me start snoring, I suppose.
Oh, Harold is deep into this.
Yeah, Holt's gonna say, no, we fell asleep.
Oh,
Kind
okay.
of shakes him awake.
Harold, you fell asleep. We gotta continue and finish this. Try to concentrate better next time.
I'm still asleep.
Okay, so you're wake up quietly, hear that, then perfect.
No, I think I just didn't wake up at all. I'll just sleep until we're done.
Okay, sure. So yeah, that happened. And Joachim, where did you go?
Where did I go?
Nowhere.
He's lost in the city.
Standing, looking at the city.
He's just standing there in the airport terminal, just staring.
He's lost his bag, he's lost his wife. He doesn't know what to do.
This is a brand new city and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so I'm just gonna follow the party.
Okay, make a perception check.
Have I lost the party?
Maybe.
Do I see the party?
So yeah, you saw them split up and go in two different directions. One went a little northwards, while the other went east.
I'm gonna go the way Archibald went, I suppose.
Yeah, sure. You find them sleeping,
Nice.
or so you think.
Okay, that's different.
I want to sleep too, so I'm actually gonna leave here.
Yeah. He just sees you guys meditating.
Yeah. And I decide to pass out too. So yeah, it's good games. I'm fucking dying. So see ya.
See you tomorrow.
Yes.
So yeah,
Okay.
you wanted to go to see the chieftain.
Yup.
So yeah, you head over towards
The chieftain.
and you do find again there seems to be ceremonial guards but they seem very powerful. So it's not like, but it's clearly that you can see they are Thunderbluff warriors, and they seem to be guarding this bridge that goes over to that little rise.
Okay.
So what do you
Unless
want
if
to
they
do?
stop me, I'm going to go past them.
They are going to stop you.
Okay. I go, sorry, I'm here with the Horde, and I wanted to help with the centaur problem.
Hmm.
I
That
show them
may
my
be.
badge.
Yeah, you do. And I say, that may be, but there be no centaurs on the other side of this bridge.
I wanted to talk to the Elder about strategy.
Hmm. Do you have an appointment already?
Oh, I need an appointment. Oh, okay. Where do I make an appointment?
People don't normally make appointments. Take a step. I suppose you can make one now.
Okay, I would like to make an appointment for this moment exactly.
I'll have to check if it's available. And he walks over the bridge.
I was waiting for you to say that, Matt. The second he said you're gonna have to make an appointment. I'd like to make an appointment for this very moment right now.
So I just sit there on the bridge.
Yeah.
Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my fishing pole over the bridge. See if I catch anything over the side of the bridge.
You catch a Kodo.
That'll break my fishing pole.
So yeah, it goes a little while, but eventually he does come back, and he says, "Your appointment is in 20 minutes from now."
Okay. And I sit there with my fishing pole over the side of the bridge.
One of them is kind of curious, seeing, and they are generally curious. I mean, probably the first time they've seen a Murloc in Thunderbluff.
Do I catch anything?
You can make a check with.
Hooray. That's all I need. I just need one success. Okay, do I have it at disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. 8!
Yep. You throw it up, but I mean, it's pretty much just rocks it clings into.
Okay, I try to pull up one of the rocks. Do I succeed?
With an 8, unfortunately, no.
Aww.
You get it slightly, but it slips out.
Aw.
But you have improved your arms and how to toss out the fishing rod, and so. Yeah.
Perfect.
Good. And then eventually, after the 20 minutes of trying to air, Torrent says, "It should be about ready now. You can
I
step
put
over
my
the
fishing
bridge."
rod away.
Yep.
And I walk across the bridge.
Yep.
Okay.
So you walk across the bridge, and again, you do see a few people mostly torrents here, but you see different kinds of torrent. Like they have different fur. Like some are more black, while others are brown and white. Kind of like you would see cows with different.
Some of them are
different.
Angus beef.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And after you get there, there's two guards that look, but they saw that there wasn't any problems at the other side of the bridge, so they're not gonna stop you from entering. So you enter, and you do find this room, and you see several different torrents. You see what appears to be a large bird-like creature.
a large what?
A large. Let me find pictures of that. I will put it in the Discord. So there you go.
Oof.
You do see some of these creatures, or one of those creatures, but very fancily dressed in trinkets and such. That seems magical, so it does seem powerful. There appears to be a similar one, who's you see him in this torrent form, but he's very bear-like. He has a lot more fur than a torrent normally has, and you see his teeth are super sharp, and he even has like a bear over his head that covers the top. And you see a more tiger-like, or more tiger-like creature. Although he's also in his torrent form, but he's a bit slimmer and he seems to be a lot more agile. And you see a tree that's walking in here.
A tree?
Yes, with torrent-like features.
Interesting. So that's how that tree was following us.
It's not that tree.
Oh, okay.
This was your opportunity, dude. Make it into something real.
Yeah, let me find that.
Weird looking tree man.
Form, if I can find that. Pictures.
It's
Yeah,
a druid
like-
that casted bark skin on himself.
So something like that.
I'm seeing all the weird stuff.
But this one also looks quite powerful as well. So you can assume maybe there are druids or something similar. You do see one that appears to be not exactly a throne, but it's definitely at the position of the person in charge here. As the rest are gathered around. And he looks like...
He looks like a dude.
Yeah, I wanted to get a picture of that one as well, because I haven't made a token for him.
He looks like a dude and a bro. So he's a dude bro.
Bro, dude. But yeah, this is what you see sitting on.
Boop. Okay. Cool.
And he appears to look rather old.
Okay.
See that one of his horns is broken a bit more than the other. So he's definitely been battle scarred, and he seems to be a tough warrior. Next to him, you also find another one who's carrying 2 huge ass totems on the back, wearing like bird feathers for a hat. Very, very shamanistic, you could say, look. But he also seems very strong and sturdy. So that's the 6 creatures you see standing in this room. And they have their attention on you.
Okay, I walk into the middle of them, assuming they're in like a circle-like formation.
Yeah, more like a half circle, but yeah.
Okay. I walk into the middle of them, and I sort of just wipe my brow slightly, and I say, well, it took me quite a while to get here.
This is the first time a Murloc entered this den. What is your business here?
I show him my little horde badge, just so that way they realize that it's horde business. And I sort of just show it around the room to anybody who's looking.
Oh.
And then I say, I'm here to discuss strategy with the centaurs.
So they look at you and says, or the person next to him, the one with the large totem, says, we should just march down there and fight them head on. They can't take us all if we get them. Well, another one of them argues. The 3 argues, but we'll lose a lot of our own. We were to do a full-out battle. Our lives should not be wasted easily. And they seem to have a bit of a back and
I just chime in. Apparently there was a big raiding party we saw as we landed.
Yes.
And I tell them where that was, if it's helpful.
Yeah, it was pretty much at the elevator. Allows you to leave town.
Okay.
By air.
Okay.
And they say, we are aware of that. Our supply lines to the other villages are very strained at the moment.
Is that their main fighting force, or is that just a contingent?
I believe that's just the raiding part. The ones in Molgorn, all of them, they have quite a few in the barracks as well.
Well, if you would hear my strategy, even if you were a member, species, or race of the Horde, the entire Horde that we have at the moment would win if they fought this group, but even they would sustain heavy losses. We would need a proper strategy, not just a all-out offensive. So, I am here to propose one, if you will hear it.
Yeah. So while you're speaking, you do get interrupted by the other people there, but I'm not gonna interrupt and do the thing you were, or say the thing you want to say.
Okay. So, they're gonna listen to my strategy, basically?
Yeah, not without interrupting you, but they will eventually hear it.
Okay. So, I'm gonna ask a few questions first to start. I'm gonna say, what began this conflict? specifically? I've heard legends and rumors, but I want to hear it from your point of view.
The centaurs be marauders and bandits. They'll take anything they get their hands.
So they're just purely evil? No
Indeed.
redeeming qualities?
All of them seem to for once.
Okay, so they all think that they're just pure evil.
Yeah.
Okay. So my job's gonna be that much harder then. So you've never met a centaur who wasn't barbaric? Not a single one?
Not all are barbaric, so to say. You have the more shamanistic and such. They are rather tribal. But I have never met one worth speaking to.
Well, then that's going to make my suggestion appear at first all that more uneducated, perhaps. My suggestion is to simply resolve the conflict peacefully. Now, that being said, before I get interrupted, I wish to say that perhaps they can be dealt with peacefully. Do they not have reasoning minds, like you and I?
Make a persuasion with disadvantage.
Okay. Persuasion. The disadvantage. I almost rolled advantage. 23!
Yeah. So,
And that 20 and 19.
Yeah, exactly.
So the moonskin or the bird says there is some truth to what this grunt speaks. There is few might possess the capacity to think.
Wow, they're really that racist against them. Ooh, I guess I needed that 23.
There are definitely others who did statement, so they are in a bit of an argument again. However, the leader there, which is the guy with the picture, he says, it will never, but if you think you can, make them leave Mulgore and the northern barons and never return. And there will be an end to this war.
Okay, those are steep demands. Do you have any proposition for a place where they could live?
Elsewhere.
Yeah, I figured. They just don't want them there. It's a Holy Land thing. Yes. What? Hirog is typing to me. So yeah, I kind of figured, and my character probably is smart enough. He has a wisdom of 14 and an intelligence of 10, if that helps you figure out whether or not my character could catch on to the fact that it's probably like a Holy Land issue.
It might be, but you definitely catch on that they really. It's the only thing they have been in agreement on, because they keep, like, you haven't been speaking, and I as a DM haven't been interrupting you, but they definitely interrupted you during speeches.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So they're like bringing up like, no way, they're just too bad, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I just need to get through to their leader because probably they will acquiesce to the leader's decision. So I'm trying to get through to him.
Yeah.
I say, so this land is important. Do they seek to claim it?
This is our home, and they wish to take it. That's the bandits they are.
Okay, I know that this is going to be a slightly biased answer I will get from you, but try to be objective. Who was here first?
Hmm. Troll was probably the first one to step foot in here.
Okay, so do I know who that is?
Well, do you know what that is?
So is it Thrall that you said?
Yeah,
Okay, so that's the orc guy?
yeah, the war chief.
Okay. So he was the first one to step foot on this land?
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Interesting. So then it's not even them that was here first. That is a very interesting factoid.
Wait, haven't the Tauren been here for like hundreds of years?
Well, but yeah, when they returned, Troll was the first one to step foot in. They came back.
Oh, when they returned. So they had
But
to...
basically, when Troll first got it together, and they kind of made a mutual agreement, and they helped them to get to Molgorn, and the orcs passed on to Durotar and started settling there.
Ah, so there's a history there. So before Thrall, he's a man that's... or orc, I should say. I would have said orc, but he is an orc who only has such a long lifespan. He couldn't have been here hundreds, if not thousands of years ago.
That would have been our ancestors.
Okay, so it was you then? Your people is what I mean, that inhabited this land before the centaurs arrived?
Our people has always had a claim to this land.
Yeah,
Even
and I
when
know
we
that
got
I'm gonna get
chased
a
away.
biased answer. I know that. So he's saying that they are the ones who have the claim. Okay. So the centaurs arrived afterward, or did you grow together in this land?
And yeah, one of them says, Cairn, I've had enough of this talking. There can be no peace with the centaurs. Just allow me to take our best men, and we will eradicate their villages in Morgor and drive them away. And he currently thinking of, but he dismisses the idea for now.
Okay, so I've won the chance to continue speaking by persuading them so well the first time. Basically. Because they would have kicked me out probably earlier if I didn't make that.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing well.
Or
I'm just trying to get a grasp on the history here, to discern why these people need to be eradicated. To find out if they actually do. Perhaps there is a common ground that your people and theirs could find. That is what I attempt to do now.
Well, I have stated my terms for peace, but I doubt they would agree to it. They are dishonest scumbags, a lot of them.
If I could find one, perhaps a higher up or a leader, willing to sit down for a talk for peace, is that an option, or should I just tell them to leave?
If you tell them your terms and they wish to speak about it, then we are not as savage as they are.
Yes, we are enlightened people, correct? As I look around the room to try to get everyone on the same page.
Yeah, two of them, the tree and being the beastly folks, is not that much agreeing.
That's fine. If I can find even one among their number that is enlightened such as us, should I not bring him here to, or perhaps a neutral ground, to speak?
Would be here. Otherwise, they would ambush us. And
Right.
it would have to be someone with influence. If you wish to take this impossible task, then suit yourself.
I mean, I am in this room with people who oppose me, and I have not been executed yet. Perhaps I do have the skill.
As I mentioned earlier, we are not as savage as the centaurs.
I agree. I agree that you are enlightened. I haven't interacted with many centaurs in my time. In fact, not any at all. So, this is why I say that I may be naive, but I do wish to try.
Then the leader there, he says, "We will not retaliate immediately. If you're able to do something, do it with haste."
From what I hear, my band of companions will be departing, at least not tonight. We've had a long trip to get here. So, perhaps tomorrow I will discuss it.
Yeah. So several of them seems displeased with this, while some are not super happy about it, but they don't seem displeased.
I realize this has been a long rivalry. Perhaps, if we can put it to bed. And when it is in bed, then we can make the horde, or if you wish to join, we won't pressure you, but your people will be stronger for not having lost any men.
Well, warriors have been fighting them for quite some time. If you do manage to get the centaurs to leave both Mulgorn and the Barrens, then I will head to Orgrimmar myself and seek an audience with the chief.
I will relay your sentiment. So unless if they have any other questions for me before I walk out the door.
No, they just immediately start arguing again.
Okay. So, do I see the ones who are most adamant that this not happen?
Yeah, it was definitely the guy with
The guy with the what? You cut out.
the two totems standing beside him.
Okay. Okay. So he seemed shamanistic, if I'm correct.
Yeah, somewhat. I can see if I.
Because then I know which group of people I need to approach to try to sway him. If need be.
This is a picture of him.
Okay. Let me see.
Almost might recognize him.
Yeah, he does look shamanistic. Because he has totems that look reminiscent of what Rigshin has. So, yeah. Alright. I have what I've come to do in that place. So I begin my trek back. I'm going to try to find our group as well as what's his name? I always forget his name. Sorek. To relay that they didn't kick me out of the tent immediately from bringing up that idea. So it is possible. So, do I find Sorek or the group first? That would be the question.
Probably investigation.
Okay.
Not that difficult, but we'll see.
I might just get a 0 or 1 or something. I got a 4.
Yeah. So yeah, you go to the place where you're supposed to, and when the others them.
Okay.
So after you guys meditated,
You cut out a lot there.
You cut out, but I'm assuming you asked us what we did after meditating. Oh.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Yeah, well, if that's what he asked.
yeah, it's what I asked.
Okay. Hmm. I think it depends a little bit on what time the it would be. If it was like really late.
It's not super late, but it's getting late.
And I'm thinking we should just probably head back to tavern staying for the night.
Okay.
And I don't know, see we can find there of our group.
Yep. I agree. So,
I think Grumbo is already in the tavern or inn or whatever, asleep. Because that's what he said he wanted to do.
Where he found them meditating, thought they were sleeping, and just plummeted on the ground, falling asleep.
Okay, well.
So I suppose when we're
we'll drag him with us.
Or when I wake up and Archibald is done meditating, we both are walking back, and then we see Grumbo laying asleep on the ground next to us. Okay.
You hear him snoring.
Yeah, of course I would be polite and thank Mr. Stormsong for his time. Stormsongs, sorry.
Stormstonks.
Stormstonks. Okay, that works too.
What did you say his first name was?
Colt.
Or did
Holt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll also tell him that if it's not a big problem for him, that perhaps I will be back hoping to continue this at some point. But we've got shit to do, so I'm gonna prioritize that.
Yeah, it's fine. So all of you meet up, but you don't find Zorik yet. You're supposed to meet him tomorrow, so you don't know where he is.
Yeah, that's alright. At least I'll be able to discuss it with the group member who it will be most contentious. So,
you already know my answer.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say, but I'm still
What you
gonna
gonna-
say that what I
Yeah.
did. So, we're gonna
Okay.
start there.
At least while we're walking back, I will ask Archibald. So, I was asleep. Have you learned spells yet? And then I'll produce flame in my hand. And I'll just look down at you.
Parag, I don't think you quite understand what we did today. The point wasn't for me to learn
I
spells.
think you're correct.
Connect with the nature. That isn't necessarily spell casting, you know?
Well, fire is a part of nature.
Yes.
And then I'll mold the earth and I'll just make the ground move a bit.
I can do that too, Evan. I start to dig in the ground.
When you start digging, I'll just mold earth it back in. So whatever
Yeah, and then I'm
you're
gonna
trying
turn to
dig-
you and I'm gonna say that, yeah, we basically just did the same thing.
Fair enough. All right then. I guess it'll come with time, and then I'll just start walking again.
Yeah.
Alright, are they back at the inn now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, I wave, because I've been there waiting for a little while, because I looked around the stupid bloody town and didn't find anybody. So, I just went back to the...
Just a quick question: How big are murlocs? Like how tall are you?
What size am I considered? DM?
Small.
Okay, so I'm considered small. That should help you.
So like 3 feet.
Something like that, yeah.
So you're like 1/4 of all the Taurens, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like a speck in the middle of a in the middle of an anthill.
Okay.
Yeah, super small
Yeah.
speck. Yep.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I'm not that perceptive, so I probably won't see you before I'm accidentally almost stepping on you or something.
I go, hi.
Oh, hi there.
Hi there.
Come over here. And I motion towards, I guess they have a booth or a place that's slightly more private than just sitting in the openness.
There is not any place that's super private, but there is like places to sit and stuff. Like the tables nearby will probably hear you, but
Yeah, I just don't want to start a bar brawl. Because I know how contentious an issue this is. So I'm gonna go instead to our room. I assume our room is private.
not really. It's kind
2
of
seconds,
a
guys.
shared area on. It's like the first floor is where the bar and stuff is, and the food and the tables and everything. And the next floor up, it's the bedrooms, and it's like it's laid out places for people to sleep, but it's not divided by rooms or anything.
Googly moogly. Okay. Um.
And we like get up on the roof.
Yeah, I wonder if they're thinking about it and stuff, you managed to find some place that you made sure you're sitting next to orcs and trolls, because there's a bunch of them here for some reason.
Okay. Sounds good. So, yeah, we sit there.
Yeah.
And I go, alright, so, I'm not sure what you guys are gonna think. I have an idea of what one of you is gonna think, but I spoke to the elder. And I suggested, they mostly didn't agree, but I suggested a path of peace between the Tauren and the Centaurs. And I wait a minute just to see if anybody explodes.
Yeah. Nobody explodes.
Like
The
this
orcs
is
don't
my.
care
I want this to be my reaction.
Sure.
Someone does explode, and that's Herog.
Okay.
No. It'll be. Wait. You went up in front of the elders, and you suggested peace with the centaurs.
I wasn't immediately kicked out.
Well, you are braver than most fish.
Well, I see your meaning, but technically I'm not a fish. Either way, I suggested it, and they said if one was willing to speak with the elders, they would consider it, as long as it was a higher ranking one. And they also said that their starting terms are that the Centaur evacuate Mulgore and the Barons.
That seems fair.
That would be their path to peace.
But I'm also pretty sure that that would be the centaur's demand of us.
Which I figured.
Okay.
Which I figured. That might be. Which is why I see I'm fighting an uphill battle, but here's how I'm going to phrase this. If the Tauren could recruit people of another race to join them in a fight, would they do so?
Are you talking about the horde or?
I'm talking about like a generic other race of people.
Yeah, I mean, most Taurens wouldn't see an issue with that.
No, but I'm asking him because I'm trying to convince him.
As long as it's not a centaur, it would be fine by me.
Yeah.
And see, this is my point exactly. What is with the extreme hatred towards Centaur?
Yeah, what's the deal with you guys and those guys?
The elders
I know you
were
don't
very
What
vague.
happens? No?
Well,
elders were
to start off
Okay.
with,
Go ahead.
they I'm not really sure how much Herog would know of the story, because to him it's about like they're the enemy, you can smash them, like hell yeah, I can hit them as hard as I want and kill them. That's like kind of what he thinks, but I'm not too sure how much of the history he would know, because they originally drove the Tauren out in the Barrens, and then like in the game at least. And then when Thrall and they came, they assisted them to retake Mulgore. So that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
So-
they got them back there and they got settled in there.
Yeah, but the centaurs are still here.
11 isn't gone. They're still there as well. So
Yeah. So, start off, they've been pillaging and killing Taurens for as long as I can remember. Burning our villages, stealing our food. They're just barbarians.
I
They don't have
hope you
people
do
to
not.
reason with.
I hope you do not take offense to my questioning, but have you not done the same to them?
I'm not sure. Have we? I'm guessing we have.
Have you?
I'm not sure. Let's roll for it. No, apparently not. Well, I haven't.
Have others of your kind?
I suppose.
Well, then it's just a tit for tat. One of you does something wrong, then the other does something wrong, and it's just going to escalate into perpetuity. Which is why I understand that you guys wish to eradicate them, and they may wish to eradicate you.
You're discussing this with a 8 int character.
Yes. So, what I'm trying to say is, if you could make allies with them, if that were possible, what would you think?
Well, I mean, they've killed many in my tribe. I would not be exactly happy with it.
Yes, that is what I saw with your elders. Some of them do not wish to attack straight on, however, some of them do. And many of your kind will die in the process, whether or not you win. And I'll describe the guy who seems to be most adamant that they just kill everyone.
Yeah.
So I describe that guy.
Do I know who that is?
Since you're from here, why not? That would probably be Bane Bloodhoof, son of the chieftain.
Yeah, and he's like, he's a warrior. I suppose he's someone I would look up to.
Yeah, he's a strong warrior.
He says they should just rush head forward.
Sometimes
But a lot
the
of you will
simplest
die.
solution. Sometimes the simplest solution might be the best one.
But, like I said, a lot of your kind will die. And your numbers will dwindle. And how useful your kind will be to the Horde after such a perilous blow to your fighting forces perhaps might be something to consider. Since you have both an allegiance to your kind and the Horde at this moment.
Well, I'm not the one making the decisions, am I?
Yes, but if I cannot convince you, what hope do I have to convince him? And I motion towards the direction where the elders' tents would be.
Well, they're the elders for a reason. Whatever decision they come up with, I will carry out.
Well, they said that they would be willing to give me a chance. They have ceased their retaliation, or postponed their retaliation attack for now.
Then I suppose I'll give you a chance as well.
Alright. Just, I can't see an entire race of people being entirely evil. It just doesn't work. 'Cause I am an example. I am a Murloc, and most people view Murlocs as evil. Perhaps it's the magic in my brain, but perhaps there was some sort of good in me all along.
Perhaps.
Anyway.
So, Harold, this man that you persuade into willingly give a chance to the centaur that I can't get your attention in meditation for more than 15 minutes.
Meditation is boring, and you know it.
I disagree.
Well, Holt haven't made me meditate in 15 years, so...
But in just a couple of minutes, this man makes you forget all of your hatred towards the centaurs.
Hatred is not forgotten, my friend.
Sir, sounds like okay, not necessarily, but
And I'll chime in a little bit. I'll say,
you
I'm
know
not
what I
asking
mean.
you to let go of centuries of hatred and grudge. I'm asking you to give a chance.
One
For
thing I'm
peace.
certain of is we can't share this land. One of us is going. And it's not the centaurs. No, it's not the Tauren, I mean.
It's not that.
Yeah, the
not the
centaurs are
JHT.
gonna just move in again. There you go. That'll solve
No,
it.
it's not the Tauren.
And you are my ally, and I do take your words to heart. Just, I do not wish genocide. If a species can be saved, it may be beneficial to all of us. Either way, like I said, I'm not asking you to not be wary around them. Keep your suspicions. That will be useful, in case they decide to betray us.
Very
If
well.
such a peace comes about. So, yes. So there's no lakes around here, are there? Like not up here. No bodies of water, like a pond.
There should be one in, like, right up the elevators.
Is there
if
one?
I'm-
Right up the elevators.
Yeah, in game, if you see the map, there's a blue spot, like, here.
Oh yeah, there's a very small one. Yeah.
Just because I like water.
You sure do, Fish.
But Fish Guy, what exactly is the mission you've planned out with the Elder guys? Are you to go to the centaurs alone and negotiate with them?
We have been given well, I would call a great opportunity to approach the centaurs without killing every single one that we see.
Yeah.
If they're violent towards us and try to kill us, then so be it. But hopefully we can communicate with one of them. They can speak Orcish. And perhaps if they do, then we can see one of their elders. And perhaps get him to come to a peace talk.
Okay, so all of us are gonna go. Not just you.
Well, I was hoping to have some backup in case they decide to just kill me.
Okay, have you spoken about this with Sorek?
I haven't been able to find him. But he'll be here tomorrow. That will be the first order of business. Or at least maybe sometime tonight. I'll be able to find him before we go to sleep.
Okay. I'm just thinking that it would be useful for you if you brought me and Grumbo, because we can just give them burgers and then they will probably just listen to whatever we say.
Oh, yes.
That has worked out in the past several times.
If that's a very prime strategy. I do depend on you guys being with me. Not just myself.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Although, them seeing a Tauren with us, even if we disguised that we were part of the Horde, that would probably be unacceptable either way, but if I can try to convince them to not immediately kill us all, that would be a great step.
Can't he just come in like a bear? Just follow us as in bear form.
I can.
So at least you can hear what we're talking about.
Yeah, because I'm trying to
Mr.
get...
DM,
Oh, okay,
can
go
I
ahead.
still turn into other animals, or is it just beer?
What? You
Ben.
the bear?
Can I turn into other animals, or just the beer?
Well, you can use wild shape that's described to a druid.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was just
A
wondering.
lot less powerful.
Yeah, your
Anyway,
bear
we
form
haven't
is your
seen any
strongest
other
form, I guess.
And I don't think we've seen you turn into any other bear.
Actually, we have. He turned into a warthog. Or boar or something.
More. A dire boar
Yes.
or something.
But actually, well, Archibald forgot that. He's gonna say bear anyway.
Well, it's up to you. I am presenting this as an option. So that way we don't have to fight, like, 9,000 centaurs. Or however many there are.
I mean,
like, even just killing their leader probably won't be enough. Because if they're as indoctrinated as into hate them guys as you guys are, well then, every single individual is going to have to die. Or at least...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's preferable to not commit war crimes if we can avoid it.
Yeah. So
let's kill all their children.
No, Herlog, that would be considered war crimes. That's not okay.
We might want to take the babies and maybe save the species if we can.
Nope.
So yeah, we'll play a little bit longer until you guys meet with Zurek and stuff in the morning. But if there's anything else you would like to discuss or do, you can do it now.
Okay. Well, I don't need anything in particular. The only thing that I might want is like a better weapon. But
oh yeah, you can definitely buy one if you have the coin.
Okay, let's just go with the minimum enchanted weapon. What would that cost?
If you're gonna have anything enchanted, you're gonna have to go up in at least 500 gold.
Okay, so we don't have the money for that, is what you're saying.
Nope.
That probably means my stuff could be sold for a fuck ton of money. Not that I'm very interested in selling, but it's nice to know this.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want any normal weapons, like a rapier would be 25 gold pieces, a pike would be 5, Morningstar 15, like they have prices. So.
Okay, let me look at my stats.
And I believe you get proficient in whatever you pick, so you can use...
yeah, I'm automatically proficient in whatever weapon I summon, as long as it's my bound weapon.
Yeah.
So I could technically take a greatsword, but it would use strength, right?
Yeah.
Because my strength is -1, so that wouldn't be ideal. So dexterity would be the one that I would be looking for.
Yeah, the best dexterity weapon is the rapier. It does a D8. But it's one-handed, so...
Yeah, that's fine. Because
You
right
can
now
have
all I
a-
have is a dagger. So
Well, if you have 25 gold pieces, you can easily buy yourself a rapier, and you can use your dagger in your other hand.
fair enough. You said 25?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I still have 14 gold left if I do that. Alright, so does it have any particular appearance other than just a rapier? Like, does it have like a little feather on it because we're in Mulgore or whatever?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So,
So-
if you want, yeah, if it's a rapier mechanically, you can change it a bit.
Okay. So it has like a little feather on it. Cool.
But do you need to buy a weapon? You can't just summon a weapon.
I can, but I wanted to bind one. That's what I was thinking. I could just summon a rapier.
Yeah, the way it works is you just summon a packed weapon, and when you let go of it, it disappears after a while. But of course, it takes an action, I think, to summon it. So you would waste if you're caught surprised, you would waste an action to summon the weapon the first turn. So
I'm not sure if it's an action or a bonus action, but either way, yeah, if it's just a regular rapier, I think just summoning my blade would be better, actually. So maybe I'll just
Okay.
not do that.
But this one has a feather.
I'll just not do that. He's right. I shouldn't
That's
do
fine.
that.
You don't need to. So you
I'll
have
just
an ability
unbind
for
my dagger then, because it's not like a magic dagger or anything. So, and just
Yeah.
use my dagger to side
That
with the
works.
rapier. Okay. I'll just do that then.
well, your packed weapon disappears if it's more than 5 feet away from you for more than 1 minute. So you could technically just summon one and have it on you, and it takes an action.
Oh, okay. And it doesn't go away for any reason unless if I make it go more than 5 feet away from me?
Yep. Or you can just dismiss it, no action required.
Okay. Well, then I have a greenish colored rapier. Suddenly.
And rules as written, you technically need to have a magic weapon to turn into your packed weapon. If you
Oh,
want to
really?
bond it.
It has to
So
be
it's like-
magical?
Yeah, so if you have like
I think
a...
that is because you can just make magical weapons. So
So if you have a +1 sword, or a fancy sword that can cast spells or whatever, you can bind that so that you can unsummon that sword whenever you want.
Okay. Then never mind. I didn't even have the dagger attuned then. Or whatever. Bound. So, yep. I did a stupid, but that's okay.
yeah. So you guys take a long rest then, I imagine.
Yep.
All the beds here, is there bunk beds?
Not really. It's more like places. It's more like you have a small sleeping area on the floor, on the second floor of this building. So
Yeah, it's just a
not-
big open room on the second floor that has, like, mats on the floor.
Yeah,
I want the chopper. Okay.
you
You can
just
sleep
take
on
your
top of
bed
me.
and put it on top of the floor and then just.
Yeah, the Torn will just lift his arm up and you can just lay on his hand and you can just be. Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, that'd be uncomfortable.
I'd like to find the rest of the crew and have some drinks. So like the other people that came with us. I'm guessing they're sleeping at this tavern as well.
Yeah, everyone is sleeping at this tavern. So.
then we're having some drinks.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, unless there's anything you guys want to talk about, we'll go to the next day.
Well, nothing in particular. Probably just chat a bit with Branosh and some of the other boys. He's there.
Sure. So yeah, you do that, and the next day, you guys meet up with your senior sergeant. He gathers both groups and he asks both of them. So, what have you discovered?
I walk forward and I tell him everything, just so that way I don't have to reiterate it for the 5th time.
Yeah, that's fine. So you tell him about that stuff. Is there anything else you would tell him, or?
I would tell him that that would be possibly a method to stop the conflict entirely, and our group could potentially do that if he so sees fit. But we'll take orders from him, like since he's above us. So we'll do whatever he says. But they said that they've given me a chance to do this, so this is an option thing that we can do.
Okay. So you explain that option and such.
Yep.
And then Dranosh tells what he figured out during the day. And he says, I managed to find a thorn by the name of Bane Bloodhoof. He seems very adamant about striking the village in the south. I offered my help, and my men's help, and he was pleased. Seems he's willing to help have the Tauren join the Horde as well. Come with them and crush their enemies.
I just bring up again the fact that, yeah, a lot of Tauren are gonna die if we do that.
Oh.
So, because that's
A lot of
the
centaurs
elder-
are gonna die if we do it.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying that the fighting force is going to be diminished if we just try to kill all of them. So that's all my character's opinion is going to say. I'm going to try to let him make the decision.
Sure. So anyone else have any inputs?
I want to say that I support Fisty's idea, but what you say, Dronos, that's a potential plan B, depending on how it goes. The peace talk, but I think we should give that a chance first. For what
So
it's
he
worth,
thinks
that's my
about,
opinion.
Both cases. He decides. He looks at Rigshin because he's the leader of your group, technically. Since he's one of the Horde races.
Yeah.
What about Ruger? Why isn't he our leader?
Yeah, that's a good point. But the Rigger wasn't really speaking. Rigshin would have been speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever.
if his player was here, he would have been saying stuff.
Yeah.
So your senior sergeant says, we'll give you 5 days for your plan. Dranosh, speak with this Bane. Tell him that we're ready to attack in 5 days.
I just mention, I'll talk again. I'll say, in case things fail, Might I suggest preparing your position? Perhaps a stealth approach might be useful.
Granash, you're in charge of figuring out an attack strategy, along with Bane, of course. You guys can try and make peace. See if you can have the centaurs meet with their Torrent's demands. But remember, we were sent here to aid Torrent, not the centaurs.
I understand. Just I would rather avoid genocide if possible.
It's only genocide if they don't fight back.
He shrugs. Technically, it is semantics, but yes.
So yeah. And that's probably where we're gonna stop the session.
Okay.
Yep.
Seems fair.